Greetings and welcome to Rick's Retirement Journey. What a day today. It's just been one of those days where I didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Had some coffee, had some breakfast, watched some YouTube, and then I just had to run a few errands. Stopped by the grocery store, picked up some groceries, dropped off some plastic bags, dropped off some stuff for a charity, and then I stopped off at one of my favorite places, not the bookstore, but close, the local library, where they're having a book sale today, or they had a book sale today, and so I thought I would stop on by and see what I might be able to pick up. So today, I went to the bookstore. I went to the library, and I figured, okay, sometimes I'll go in there and I'll just grab a whole bunch of books, and I'll look at them. Oh, it looks interesting. Go from there. But today I kind of went in there with a little bit more of an intent. It was to go ahead and pick up some military type books. And so what I'm going to do here for maybe the next few minutes, 5, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes, is just kind of go through the books that I picked up today. The cool thing about our local library system is that once a month, at all the different libraries on different days, they have a 50% off sale. They have a $3 bag sale, and then they have a free day. And I think I may have spoken about this before. The free day, you go there and it's basically picked over a whole heck of a lot. So I went to the $3 a bag day and I picked up 2 bags. Count them. 1, 2 bags. So let's get started. First book I picked up was called Secret Agent: The True Story of the Covert War Against Hitler. Really good condition, and I thought it would be, he's also David Stafford, the author of Roosevelt and Churchill, Men of Secrets. So one book that I picked up today. Looks interesting just from the topic itself. The second book is Fire in the Sky: The Air War in the South Pacific by Eric M. Bergerud. And so it's a nice thick book, and also got that one part of my 2 bag sale. Next one, Taking Command, General J. Lawton Collins, From Guadalcanal to Utah Beach and the Victory in Europe. Looks very interesting. Like the cover. Yes. Next book, living down here in the Fredericksburg, Stafford area, we had a lot of the Civil War that took place in and around this area. Chancellorsville, Battle of Manassas, things like that. Excuse me. This right here is Curiosities of the Civil War by Webb Garrison. And again, this is one of those nice thick books, and I'm really going to look forward to diving into this one a lot. Next one's called Beyond Valor: World War II's Ranger and Airborne Veterans Reveal the Heart of Combat. There we go, get the reflection out of there. So it's books like this. Like I said, I wanted to pick up the military theme this time. This is pretty interesting. It's called Tried by War: Abraham Lincoln as Commander-in-Chief. It's written by James M. McPherson. He also wrote the book Battle Cry of Freedom. So that looks like a pretty interesting one. Civil War, a lot of it took place right here. Next one, A Furnace Afloat: A Wreck of the Hornet and the Harrowing 4,300-mile voyage of its survivors. This one right here is pretty interesting. It took place back in 1866. So there must have been a lot of stories told about this one right here, but I'm looking forward to this one as well. Kind of near this place in a small town called Brandy Station, or over there by Culpeper, Virginia. This book is called The Mutiny at Brandy Station: The Last Battle of the Hooker Brigade, a controversial army reorganization, courts-martials, and bloody days that followed. So that looks like a pretty interesting local history one, actually. Excuse me. This next book right here is called Military Mavericks: Extraordinary Men of Battle, written by David Rooney. Let me jump in here real quick. Let me see some of the people that he mentions. Here are the stories of 12 Mavericks from Alexander the Great and Stonewall Jackson through Garibaldi and Lawrence of Arabia. If you didn't know, Lawrence of Arabia, one of my favorite movies. But yeah, another book here that I'm again looking forward to reading. Let me jump over to another stack here. Undaunted Courage by Stephen Ambrose. There we go. So Ambrose, very good historic writer. Here we go. This one here is called Ghost Soldiers, the epic account of World War II's greatest rescue mission. So I like books like this. This looks pretty interesting. Let me dig into my bag and pull these out right here. But yeah, there was a lot of books there by Balducci and again Patterson and all sorts of good good fiction writers. And I thought to myself, nah, I'm a fiction person, more of a science fiction person, but I wanted to kind of continue to delve into history. Since I know I had mentioned it before, I do volunteer at the National Museum of the Marine Corps, so the more I know about history, not only Marine Corps history, but all of the pieces of history that kind of come together to tell not only the Marine Corps story, but also the U.S. story, makes one much more knowledgeable so that you can engage more with the guests that come to the museum. So here we go. Gunfire around the Gulf, the last major naval campaigns of the Civil War. So this one right here looks pretty interesting. Here's another one by Stephen Ambrose, The Wild Blue, the men and boys who flew the B-24s over Germany. So let me there we go, get that reflection out of there. So that looks like a good one. And a lot of these are like stories that we really don't hear about. We're talking, 1940s, 1950s. We're talking Civil War back in the 1860s. Vietnam 60s and 70s, and this is 2026. I think for those of us that are our age, we've probably heard of much of these, but at the same time, a lot of people haven't. And it's people like us who tell the stories, that like to pass on the stories. This is another Jeff Sharaw book, To the Last Man. It's a novel of the First World War. So I think this is probably could be a fiction. But it's probably based on a lot of fact as well. Another Jeff Sharaw book, it's a novel of World War II, No Less Than Victory. So that's a nice looking cover right there. Somewhat thick, but not that much. And here's another book, 1001 Things Everyone Should Know About the Civil War. It's written put together by Frank E. Vandiver. So again, since the Civil War was in this particular area where I'm living now, this will be interesting, and maybe discuss it with some of the people that I know that are into Civil War history. Not all the books that I got were of the military aspect. This one right here is it's called The Long Walk to Freedom. If you're not familiar with it, it's an autobiography of Nelson Mandela. If you know who Nelson Mandela is, you know what he went through. You knew what he strived to do for South Africa and for basically all people of the world. So I'm really looking forward to this one right here, as many others. Another one I got is called Under the Banner of Heaven. It's a story of violent faith by John Krakauer. John Krakauer has written some books that I've read in the past. Interesting stuff. He's a really good writer. If you haven't read any of his stuff, actually pick up some of his. Now for about the last 5. Pursuit of Happiness by Chris Gardner. Yes, they made a movie. Will Smith was Chris Gardner in the movie. I wanted to read the book to see the differences here and there. This one right here is called Sniper, a sequel to Seeds of Evidence, which I don't have Seeds of Evidence. It's written by a lady named Linda J. White, fiction, but just the title kind of grabbed me, Sniper. So I thought I'd take a look at it. This book right here is something that just kind of grabbed me. It's called How to Be Happy or at Least Less Sad. It's written by Lee Crutchley, author of The Art of Getting Started. This is a pretty interesting one because I kind of paged through it, and he likes to do things where you have some exercises to do. Let me find another one. You fill out some stuff. Do you have any hard evidence facts to support these feelings? Which of these do you relate to? It's got a list of feelings over here. Let me find another one. Common thinking distortions. Black and white thinking, catastrophizing, emotional reasoning, fortune telling. It gives little reasons, but it's got exercises where you can fill in things like if I were a blank, I'd be blank. Color, food, drink, book, movie, song. I like stuff like this where you can fill it in. Might be interesting, just like my Sudoku book or my word search book or something like that. I think, yeah, I found this one. One person who's really fascinated me over all these years, and I really didn't do a whole heck of a lot of reading about him when I was a child, was Albert Einstein. So I picked up a book today, thick book, Einstein, The Life and Times. This book came out in 1947. Yeah, looks like copyright 1947, and then there's other changes to it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's got pictures, and I like pictures, but at the same time, I want to read more about Albert Einstein. I thought it would be pretty interesting. On the same note of Albert Einstein, The Universe and Dr. Einstein by Lincoln Barnett. So this one right here talks. I mean, we're talking science stuff right here. We're talking graphs, and let me find something here. We're talking about the Michelson-Morley interferometer consisted of an arrangement of mirrors so designed that a beam transmitted from a light source above left was divided and sent into two directions at the same time. Okay, this one will be fun reading. So we'll see what happens there. Did I show this book? Yeah, I showed this book. Okay, so those are the books that I picked up at the library today. I got all those books for about $6. Count them, $6. And yes, I do work at a bookstore, but you don't get a bargain like this at the bookstore where I work. The latest book that I've started reading is by Andy Weir, Project Hail Mary. It's coming out in a movie March 20th. I've already read about 5 pages in. It has already grabbed me. So I'll be working on this book later on this week, if not later on this evening. So that is my book haul for today. I want to thank you for everybody that's out there, subscribing and following and commenting and things like that. I really do appreciate it. I've been staying quite busy in my retirement, like many of you have, and I think the older that we get, the more we appreciate life and doing those little things that we really like to do. Today was one of those days where I was going to get up early. I did get up early. I was going to go outside and do some yard work, but then I opted to do, go to the store, grocery shopping, this and that. By the time I got back home, kind of putting things away and stuff like that, I kind of just sat down for a moment, had a glass of juice, and said to myself, wait a minute, it's a holiday today. Did you know what holiday is today? It's Rick ain't doing nothing holiday today. So I didn't do anything. Besides, I had some lunch, went to the bookstore, did some grocery shopping, excuse me, things like that. So that's what retirement's all about. Doing what you want to do when you want to do it. You've heard it before. This is not the first time you've heard it. You've heard it from, Buzz's Retirement Garage, Steve's Retirement Corner. You've heard it from Evie, Sally D. There's a whole list of people. That's what I got to do. I got to make a video of all the people that I follow out there. I, in fact, have actually started following a couple of new people out there on the Appalachian Trail. I followed one lady, and she literally lasted one day. I guess she had an upset stomach, and after one day on the trail, one night on the trail, she decided to turn around, head back to Amicalola Falls, and say, "Hey, I gave it a shot, but not this year." No, she could. She still has time. A few other people, um, Julie J or something like that. I'll have to make another video for that. But that's all I got. That's all I got from this neck of the woods. By the way, it's supposed to be 85 degrees later on today, and we're also expecting snow tomorrow night. Yeah, you heard me correct. 85 degrees by 4 o'clock today, which is in about right now. But Thursday night, cool down, possible rain, and then snow. Supposed to get down to 29 degrees tomorrow. Wait a minute, my AC just came on a few hours ago, so I have no idea what's going on. But thanks again for watching. I hope everyone is well. If you have an opportunity, please comment, share, subscribe, and I forget what the other word was. But hey, until next time, Rick out. Bye.